everyone, Michelle Nettleton here. Welcome to my studio. Today we are going to do a wee piggy. And this wee piggy is going to help us to understand Caucasian skin tones. So let's get started. We have the wee piggy here going to the market. And already we've put a little bit of masking fluid on the white parts of the eyes. And right in here and here, right at the end, we'll use white paint and just make those little cute little, I don't know, swipes of, to make, I don't know, fake eyelashes. Another thing that we are going to learn today is how to make skin tones, and that would be Caucasian skin tone. And practicing on pigs would be a good way of doing it. And so we think, our skin is white, but our skin is not white. There's lots of different tones in it. When I was first trying to do portraits, I was baffled. I didn't know what to do. And I didn't realize that there's blues and greens and purples and all kinds of stuff in when you're painting skin tone. We will have some darker tones in here, inside the ears and up and around here. And we even have some purples in here. And this is just a really cute background. It's very simple, very bright. We're using some of the colors that are inside of the pig that are being used to create different tones in the pig itself. So let's get started. So we'll start with yellow ochre, and I'm using a fairly like a middle-sized brush. This is a round 6, and I think I'll start up in this ear up here, and I'm just going to wet the ear. I don't want it soaking wet, just damp. And then I go to yellow ochre.
And is it tea?
Yes, tea consistency, yellow ochre, and just a drop of red, cadmium red.
So we're doing
And then check your color on a piece of scrap paper. That looks good. I like that.
we're doing the whole ear.
Well, there's a section right up in here that you want to keep light. Keeping that sort of whitish part here in the ear.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll go in around the eye. My white on my ear kind of got it got some color on it, and so I'm gonna just swipe it off. Paper towel. It's light enough that it'll come off quite easy. And now I'm starting to form the forehead. So I've wet it. And I'm going to take that same color and do the top of the head here. What we're doing is we're putting in the basic color right now. The basic color is this peachy color of yellow ochre and cadmium red. And just keep checking your color. You don't want it to be too yellow. Right now we're just finding our shadows actually. If your colors are fairly dry, mine are slightly damp, but that's okay. We'll go in and start working on the deeper tones now. So up here for me, I have to go a little bit orangier up here, a little bit pinkier in this area. And I'm going to add some burnt sienna into the mix. So we have yellow ochre, okay, cadmium red, and just to the side, I might have to dip into the burnt umber to make things a little bit darker. So I don't want to mix it in right now, I just want to have it ready. So I want to get a nice shadow right in here. So I started off with the tip of my brush and then I let it spread out the brush, like I'm pressing harder on the brush and letting it spread out. Again, tip and then spread out and then tip and spread out. Okay, and while I'm here, I'm going to go along the edge with a clean wet brush, and I'm blending in that color. I don't want lines, I want it blended. Well, there's a line here, but on the other side is blended. And I'm going to add a little more pink in this area here. So I just went straight into the pink, but I just made sure that it's just very light. I hardly have any paint on the brush. I don't want him to be a red piggy. Now I'm just going to dip into the burnt umber, and I'm going to add a little bit right at the edge to create those creases in the ears. I'm going to go up in this area here, and that's the burnt sienna, very light burnt sienna. Get some darkness in this ear up here. And then blending it out into the forehead and the top of the head. So again with the burnt sienna, and a tad of cadmium red, I'm going to go up on the forehead here, the top of the head. Okay, I put a pretty dark line there. I've just gone into my water, got clean water on my brush, and like I cleaned my brush, and then now I'm just blending with water added to my brush and using the paint that is already on the paper. That's how you get that nice soft transition from a darker color to a lighter color. There's a little bit up in this ear. And so in this ear on the right, there's darker shadows all over the right side of this pig, okay? So you're going to have right in this ear on the right ear, darker tones, darker values. So to get the darker values, you get use the burnt sienna and some red. And you kind of draw a line there, dip it into the water, clean your brush. I'm wiping some of the paint or some of the water off my brush so it's just damp. And then I'm going to make that little piggy ear. There. With a smaller brush, like a rigger. This is a little rigger. This is probably a 0. 0, yep, this is a 0 rigger. I'm going to make little eyelashes. Not like these little lines that come out that they're not really eyelashes. They're kind of fakey lashes. Just makes them look cute when you add little things like that. And we'll go a little darker in the snout area. That's again the red and the burnt sienna. On the snout, there's a part right up here that's a little bit lighter. You want to keep that. That makes the nose come out, gives you that sense of dimension. Ooh, that's really gotten carried away. Two. Try not to lose your lines here, where your little nose, your snout's going to be. I might just take a pencil and darken it there and here, so I don't lose those lines. And I'll just go through the whole painting and just keep darkening those parts that need to be darkened. I really like these brushes that have sort of a stiff, they're sort of stiff. They're flat brush, or this is an angle brush, but the thing is that the bristles are stiff, and I can sort of lift up. If I wet them with, just dampen them, then I can lift color easily with this. I'm going to go quite dark with the burnt sienna right in here, and then afterwards I'm going to take some purple and go over it with purple, and I'll get that nice shadow. Okay, so now we'll put in some of the purple tones. So that would be, if you don't have purple, it'd be Alizarin Crimson and Ultramarine Blue mixed together. So now I'm going to wet the forehead here a bit. This is the number 10 brush I have. Usually I have a 12 out. Maybe I'll just grab my 12, just so it's not complicated. There. Okay. All right, 12 will work just fine. So very lightly putting some purple on this forehead and purple wash Gonna go purpley pink here. So I've got the purple and some cadmium red mixed together. Checking the color. Looks good. Okay, there's a bit purple on the side here. Right over here on top of that burnt sienna we had there.
Did you wet it first on this side?
Yep, I wet it. And there's that purpley colors in the ear. Switching down to a, what do we got here? 0 for his mouth. That's the purpley color again, purple, pinky purple. I should have tried to keep a little bit of white here, but I think I'll put that in later with the white paint. Lifting a little bit of color here with this brush that has the rough bristles. Darkening my purple colors down here. If the snout is dry, you can put the nostrils in with burnt umber and a small brush. I've got the tip of a 6 right now, but I think you could probably use a 0 if you wanted to. I just happen to have a very good brush here with a good point. Let's add a little character to this guy, and we'll put in the dark of his eyes, and he'll suddenly come to life. So I'll take my 0 and black, 0 round brush, straight black, and I'll put the dark. And I don't have to worry about the white of the eye because I've got masking fluid there. Now the little eye is not round. The bottom has these straight lines. Mine is quite dry, so I'm going to take my eraser, let these pencil marks off. So I have Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White. You can use the Winsor Newton white out of the tubes. And yes, I've got a size 0 brush, and I'm going to put a little bit of white around the underneath the nostrils here. Okay. And I'm going to take another brush that's clean and blend that a little bit. I can get some more light colors in the ears, like right in here. So I put some white in, and then I'm blending it. And some more white colors in here. And I'm blending it. Where else could you use some? We could use some up in here. Wherever you feel you might have messed up, that's where you go with the white. With a fine rigger, I got my little rigger here, and load it up. And then I'm going to make this little cute little line up there to make him really super cute. You'll put a little more sparkle in the eyes if you just add a little bit of white there. Just a quick note on the background for the piggy. All you have to do is wet your background, put a very pale wash of sap green, and while it's still damp, drop in a mixture of sap green and cadmium red, just a little bit of cadmium red in your sap green. Then you drop it in, and it just will flow on its own. Now that it's good and dry, I'm going to take a little bit of burnt sienna and fling a little mud. And then sign my name.